If you're a coach who makes 5, 10, maybe even $15,000 a month, but the problem is that your revenue goes like this and then it goes like this, then this video is for you. Inside of this video, I'm going to break down how you can have a consistent lead flow, which leads to consistent revenue. So you're no longer relying on referrals, word of mouth, or hoping that somebody books a call with you. And if you stay around to the end, I'm going to show you one of the most important things that many coaches overlook in this process of generating leads. So I'm going to jump into my iPad screen here, and we're going to break down the 3 steps that you need to do in order to make consistent money inside of your coaching business. Now, step number 1 is we need to identify a lead source, something that can be consistent ideally. And so there are 3 ways that we can go ahead and generate leads. The first one is going to be outreach. The second one is going to be through content. And the third one is going to be through ads. Now, the one that will be the most consistent is going to be ads. And the reason why is because I can tell Facebook, okay, I'm going to give you $1,000, and that in turn will lead into 100 leads. And then we keep going down the pipeline. But the cool part is that instead of you hoping someone books a call, we can just simply pay Facebook to put those leads in front of us. And then we just know what our metrics are. We know that if we're selling a $5,000 coaching program, that paying $1,000 for that person isn't a terrible thing. So that means if you're selling a $5,000 coaching program, if you can close 1 out of 100 people of the leads that you generate, you're 5xing your money. So with that said, that is what so many coaches miss because they're not getting in front of people. Nobody even knows that they exist. And so we need a way to go ahead and generate leads on a consistent basis inside of your business. Now, don't get me wrong. Outreach can be a way to do that. Content can as well. Content is a bit more up and down and sporadic as well. Some of you guys may already be posting content. No, not many people book, or maybe one thing hits and then all of a sudden it's just a massive dry period. Outreach can work when it comes to consistency. It just is more difficult to scale and it takes a lot of time typically. So I always recommend that coaches go ahead and work with ads if you're really wanting to take your business seriously and take it to the next level with consistent revenue. So that's step number 1. Go ahead and pick the medium. I'd recommend ads. Now, once that's done, you might be asking, well, what do I do on the ads? What do I say? You can do ads where you directly go to a booking page, but if you're wanting to have the most amount of leads for the least amount of money, picking a lead magnet is going to be important. Now, what is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is simply something that we are offering to the person that's seeing the ad in exchange for their name, phone number, and email. Now, in order for us to identify who, or I should say what that lead magnet should be, we first need to identify who is your ideal client. Because if you are selling weight loss, the lead magnet, let's call it a free training, let's call it a free community, let's call it a free ebook, whatever you're offering to them, depending on the person, depending on what they're looking for, it's going to be different what they find valuable enough to give you their name, phone number, and email. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm just going to work with people, let's say, between the ages of 20 and 60 that are looking to lose weight. Now, don't get me wrong. That can be helpful, and it's definitely a better direction than not identifying it at all. But I want you to think about it. I'm using the weight loss as an example. Do you think that the 25-year-old woman is probably different than the 60-year-old male that's looking to lose weight? That's different than the 45-year-old female that's looking to go ahead and lose weight? And so as we're going through this, it's important to understand your ideal client at a very deep level. What are the problems that they're facing and how can you simply provide a solution? Because the more that you provide a solution with this lead magnet, the more that they are going to be interested in getting it, the lower cost per lead, the more leads you get, the more sales, so on and so forth. And so step number 2 into making this consistent lead flow is you need to make sure you identify what is that lead magnet, how can you provide something that is valuable to your ideal client. Now, once we've identified that, we have to move into number 3, which is plugging the holes. We have the entire flow and process if we look at the sales, right? Where we have the ad, which then turns into a lead, which then at some points turns into a booked call, which turns into a shown call, and then turns into a close. And so with that, every single step of the process, if we're going from box to box, there is a possibility that people could leak out. The leads could leak out. And so one thing that so many coaches miss, yes, they may be generating leads. Yes, they may already have a solid lead magnet that brings in leads on a consistent basis. But the question is, where is the hole in your boat? Because there's so many coaches that are like, oh, I need to go ahead and record 1 million new ads because this is the problem. But that's not the problem. You may be already getting people at a very high level from an ad into a lead. The problem is that you're really bad at, let's say, booking these people on a sales call. Or let's say you're really good at booking them, but you're terrible getting them to show. Or let's say you're bad at closing. And so ultimately what you need to do is you need to look at your business, understand where the holes are, and you need to plug the biggest holes first. So we went ahead and kind of talked about these things: booking rate, your show rate, your close rate, because all of these things are important for you to do. And it's just a matter of running through the process now, taking those leads that we've generated using our lead magnet and simply getting them on a call and closing it. And so guys, it is not rocket science. Those are the simple 3 steps that you can do to build a consistent business that generates leads that then turns into revenue. Now, I told you in the beginning that if you stayed till the end, that there's something that many coaches overlook, and that one thing that they overlook is nurturing your leads. And what I mean by this is that you have to create a way, especially in today's environment where all the leads are so skeptical. Everyone and their mother is claiming, I can help you with this, I can help you with that. And so we need to allow your prospects, your leads, to understand how can they know you, like you, and trust you. And then how can you also build yourself up as an authority? Now, why, you might be asking, is this important? And the reason why it's important is because, like I said, there's a million people out there. How can you stand out amongst everyone else? How can they trust you enough to buy? And how ultimately can they see you as a solution? Because you could generate a million leads, but if your leads don't trust you enough in your claims and everything you're saying to buy, pointless. If they don't trust you enough to see you as a solution, pointless. The purpose of generating leads is to go ahead and close them. And so if you would like a better understanding about, we obviously talked about the steps and everything, but if you want a better understanding of what you can do in order to nurture your leads so that they begin to see you as an authority, they begin to know, like, and trust you on autopilot, then go ahead and click this right here. I always do the wrong side. Go ahead and click right here to watch the next video where I break down exactly what you need to do in order to nurture your leads, to get them to know, like, and trust you, to see you as an authority so you get more of your leads to buy.